We focus on what we do best. We're trained very well in what we do best. We're not trained in what we don't do. Make sense? Now, don't get me wrong. When I first started McAfee, I would do anything. Okay, I would install an outlet or a light switch, or I'd work on a boiler. I'd work on anything I could. Hey, this is Greg McAfee, and welcome to the Greg McAfee Show. Now let's get started. Hi, Greg McAfee here, and welcome to the Greg McAfee Show once again. Today we will be talking about how important it is to be real. Just be yourself. Be authentic. So, as always, if you guys have not subscribed to the YouTube or to the pod channel, feel free to do so right now, because each week I put one of these out, and I'm hoping it helps you to grow your business and, as always, sleep better at night. So hit that subscribe button right there and turn on your notifications, so on every Tuesday when I put out a new episode, you'll be one of the first to see it. So why is it so important to be real? Why is it so important to be authentic? Why is it so important to, at times, be transparent? Well, there's many reasons why, and I actually posted something this morning on my Iron Sharpens Iron Facebook page. If you're a business owner of any sort, if you want to join that Iron Sharpens Iron Business Roundtable, just go to Facebook and look it up. But I posted this morning and I said, I ask business owners all the time, how are you doing in business? And I get answers like this: great, wonderful, super, awesome, right? And then I pause and I ask, now tell me how you're really doing. And I get answers like, well, not really good, or I can barely make payroll, or I just lost a key employee. So why can't we be real? Why can't we just tell the truth? I mean, why can't we just be transparent? Well, some of us were taught weakness, that if you're transparent and if you're not doing good, if you're suffering or if you're struggling, it's a sign of weakness, and it's really not. There are no, I say this often, but there are no S's on any business owner's chest that I know of. I haven't found one yet. And I've been able to meet guys and gals who do from $300,000 a year in revenue to $300 million a year in revenue. And matter of fact, I got the opportunity to meet someone who net worth was $3 billion. So they struggle. They have challenges. Actually, the most successful people are willing to admit those challenges and struggles. And I just heard a podcast this morning. John Hiley, a friend of mine, he does a really cool podcast. And he had someone on, and they basically said that they are where they're at today because of all the struggles. They didn't know any better. They made a lot of mistakes, and they learned from them. And that's the key. So we've all had failures. We've all had letdowns. And if we just admit them, we'll be able to get on with life and get through it, move on, fix things, learn from them, and just be a better person, be a better business person, etc. So that's what I want to talk about today, is just be real. If you're a regular here on the Greg McAfee Show, you've heard me tell my story about how I was basically attacked last year in June and July of 2020 from posting something that was, quote, insensitive. And I've shared it. And I shared what I went through. I shared what I did, and I shared what I went through. Now, fortunately, we've been blessed to come out a year later on top of everything, doing better than we've ever done, breaking records in June, and going to break a record for the entire year. But it's because I had faith in God and relied on Him, and a lot of people were praying for us, and I was just determined that after I was promised we were going to get through this better than we've ever been, I just hung on to that promise, and we did, and we're not done yet. It's exciting, some of the things we're doing, which I will get to share with you eventually. So let's talk about some advantages to being real, some advantages to being authentic. Number one, it elevates you and it elevates your business above the competition. And who doesn't want to do that? You know, when I told my story about what I've been going through over the last year, it attracts people. It attracts other business people, and it attracts my customers. And my customers, whether they were my customers then or whether they're my new customers now, they didn't like me being attacked. As a matter of fact, when they started hearing more and more about it and what I was going through, they started supporting me more and more and more. And they would tell their friends, you got to do business with McAfee because he's part of that. He's been attacked by the cancel culture, and we're not going to allow a person or a business who does so much for our Miami Valley and Dayton area, we're not going to allow that to happen. So we're going to support this guy. We're going to support his business, and we're going to make him prosper. And we're going to make these people realize they don't have any control over us. And that's exactly what happened. And I'll tell you what, fast forward a year from that, which is today, fast forward, oh, that's so refreshing. But I'll tell you, when you're in the pit, you don't see that because you're blinded by negativity, and you think everyone's against you. And that's their job, is to make you think that way. But that's not the case at all. Just remember, when you've got people against you, you always have more people for you. Hang in there. It will get better. Also, it builds your identity and it builds your image into something more influential, and it's trusting. It's what I call added value. So when you're real and transparent, people support you. It's added value to who you are, and it's added value to what you do. And I'm going to probably mention this a few times, but everybody has tough times. Everybody has challenges. Everybody's had failures. And as much as I want to share my success, I think it's very important to share my failures, because it's my failures that got me here. It's overcoming my failures that got me here. So it adds value when you're real. People can relate to you more. Nobody can relate to anyone other than Jesus walking on water. I can relate to him walking on water, but I can't relate to anyone else who thinks they walk on water. If you get my drift. All right. Also, being real, it gives substance to your business, to your services, and to your products. People are more likely to do business with one who has worked hard, went through the fire, went through the trials. It's kind of like the underdog per se. A lot of people pull for the underdog. A lot of people pull for the one who is taking the hit, that the little guy, right? I'm all for people succeeding. I'm all for the quarterback who has won multiple Super Bowls in a row. I'm all for that. He's earned that. He's worked hard. But I'm also for the underdog. I'm also for the guy has worked just as hard and hasn't got that opportunity yet. So I'm all about that, and a lot of people are. So it gives substance. Being real gives substance to you, your businesses, your services, and your products. It also enables people to relate to you. Like I said earlier, no one's life is perfect, and they relate to you when they know that yours isn't perfect either. Your life is not perfect. And we somehow in America, we put the wrong people up on pedestals. We put athletes, certain athletes, up on a pedestal. Their lives are far from perfect, folks. A lot of times we put the wrong people up on a pedestal. Maybe we should put the teacher who has taught for 20 some or 30 some years and taught a lot of kids and led them in the right direction. Maybe they should be up on the pedestal. Maybe the pastor who has preached to this small church for years, maybe they should be up on the pedestal. It also, being real helps others understand how and what you offer is a benefit to them. So when you're real about it, and you can say, let me give you an example. I just came up with this just now. But if I'm real we've been doing air duct cleaning in our business since 1993. And I have always told people, and I used to do air duct cleaning. I was part of the air duct cleaning crew. I had no one else to do it. So I did a lot of air duct cleanings. But I have been telling people for years, we don't guarantee that your home will never get dusty again after the air duct cleaning. But we do guarantee that we will remove the source in your air duct cleaning and that it will benefit you, and that 50% of our customers that we do air duct cleaning for, and we do thousands of homes per year, 50% approximately noticed a dust reduction after the air duct cleaning. So I'm just being transparent with them. You've seen some of these air duct cleaning companies, these scams, that they guarantee, everything. And that's not the case at all. That's not true. It's not true. And so when you're transparent and you're real, people see what the benefit is for them. And they don't expect any more than what you say, basically. Being real also tells people that what you have to offer is a higher quality, and it builds trust, and then people have more faith in you. And when people have more faith in you and they trust you, they will refer you to other people, and they will speak very highly of you to other people, to their family, to their friends. I'm a Firestone buff. I've read everything there is to know about Harvey Firestone, who was the founder of Firestone Tire and Rubber Company. But Firestone used to have a commercial probably back in the 70s that said something about ask a friend. It was actually a tune, ask a friend about Firestone, Firestone. And, ask a friend about us. They'll tell you the truth. And if you're building trust and they have faith in your company, you don't even have to ask a friend. They'll tell you. We've had some great reviews where, people just say, you've got to use this company. You've got to try them. They actually do what they say they're going to do. So that's trust, and that's faith. And then also, it marks you out as a reliable, again, trustworthy company. People trust real. They don't trust fake. They like real. Just be yourself. Be who you are. Don't try to be anyone else. If you're in business, don't try to do what everybody else is doing. Just do what you do best and what drives you. That's a great question. What drives you? What drives your business? What do you do best? We've tried to do what we do best. And matter of fact, I tell people all the time, we're more successful for what we don't do than what we do, because we don't do certain things that other companies do. In other words, we don't even do certain services or work on certain equipment that other companies work on in our heating and air conditioning trade. And I'll just tell you right now, when I bring people on board, I tell people we don't work on oil heat, we don't do new construction, we don't work on boilers. Those are just a few things we don't do. We focus on what we do best. We're trained very well in what we do best. We're not trained in what we don't do. Make sense? Now, don't get me wrong. When I first started McAfee, I would do anything. Okay, I would install an outlet or a light switch, or I'd work on a boiler. I'd work on anything I could. I was up on a roof. I'm working on, and we don't do commercial work either. Very little commercial work. I personally like dealing with Mr. and Mrs. Homeowner, and I like the fact of what they have in their home. We specialize in. We're highly trained in, and also let's be frank here. I like being paid upon completion, and that's not going to happen in the commercial world. In the commercial world, it could be 30, 45, 60, 90 days before you see a check. In my world, we get paid upon completion, and that's always the same day. It definitely helps with cash flow. It also keeps people, when you're transparent and you're real, it keeps people coming back. You're reliable to them, and it keeps them coming back. It also, when you're real, it encourages engagement. More people tell others about you. Being real is, like I said, it's very authentic. Be real, live your life and business for who you are and what you believe in. I'll say that again. Live your life and business for who you are and what you believe in. A lot of the things that I personally believe in is passed over into my business. It rubs off. It's spread throughout my business of what I personally believe in. I have a love for children. A lot of kids, all kids actually cannot help themselves. If they're stuck in the backseat of a car with two heavy smokers, they don't get to pick what car they ride in. If they're stuck at home with abusive parents, whether it's mentally or physically or sexually abusive, they don't get to pick the home they live in. So I have a love for children, and we have adopted many children within our McAfee Foundation for Children and Youth, and helped out children along the way. Whether it's we adopted a whole family. It's a long story. They were actually foster children, and the parent, the couple who took them in, we hooked up with them. And we provided birthday gifts, Christmas gifts, winter coats, clothing, all that stuff. We just became part of their family for a couple years until they actually adopted all these siblings. These kids were abused in every possible way. And it really got to me. And some of them had cigarette burns underneath their arm where they were tortured with a cigarette. There's some sick people out there, folks, and these kids don't get to choose where they live or how they're raised. So I have a lot of passion for helping children, especially getting out of certain situations they're in. But anyway, we believed in that, and it spread over. Matter of fact, part of when we hire someone, part of what your expectation is, or our expectation of you, is to love children. Because we're going to sponsor different children events, and you've got to like kids to be part of this. I mean, I've always hated to hear a teacher, I took the job to have the summers off. I don't even like kids. You're in the wrong trade, person. You're in the wrong trade. So, And if you're a regular listener / viewer of the Greg McAfee Show, you're going to know that I think being real helps you sleep better at night. Because if you're real, you're basically honest. You're transparent. You don't have to remember what you said because you tell the truth. And being real, I'm not putting on a show for anyone else. This is the Greg McAfee Show, and I hope what I say helps you and helps your business, but I'm not putting on a show. This is who I am, and this is what I do, and I'm extremely real. If you've watched me long enough, you know I don't always say the right thing perfectly. I was watching my last show, and I said a couple things grammatically wrong, and I thought, well, we're just going to let it go. Again, you know I make mistakes. If you've never made a vocabulary mistake, then you're a much better person than I am. But anyway, this is who we are, and this is what we do. But by being real, you do sleep better at night. I'm all about sleeping better at night, because if you don't sleep better at night, you can't run a business, and you can't be at your best the next day. So I hope this helps you guys. Just be real. It'll take you to the next level. Quit trying to put on a show. Quit trying to be like you think everyone wants you to be. When you're real, you'll have more friends. When you're real, people will trust you more. And I think when you're real, you'll just be more successful in life, in business, as a dad, as a mom, whatever it takes. Okay? I hope this helps. Have a great day and carry on.